I'm Norby,
I'm xtine.
and today,
We're going to talk about sound cards.
live streaming has been becoming more common these days, so we decided to show you guys what we use for our live streams.
Yep, exactly. So we got these devices right in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
So with me, again, I have the V10 mixer right here, and you
Mm-hmm.
got.
I've got the relatively fresh MAONOCASTER E2. That's what I'm using. That's
Yep.
this guy over here.
Yeah, it's this. Yeah,
Mhm.
or that one. Sorry. What was? Okay, whatever. So yeah, so the V10. This is what I got. It's actually a step up to the V8, the popular
Popular.
very popular device.
Mhm.
So, yeah, kind of a step up, but okay, now let's get into it, shall we? So, in the box, of course, you get the V10 sound card. You also got the two micro USB, two 3.5 millimeter TRRS cables, one micro USB, two USB A cable, and the documentation. And that's what I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
And inside the box of the MAONOCASTER E2, it's fairly simple. You know, we've got, of course, the MAONOCASTER itself, some documentation, all the same, and it's got a USB-C to USB-A cable with a ferrite core to eliminate some electrical noise, and it comes also with two TRRS 3.5 millimeter cables. They're about maybe 3 or 4 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. That comes in the box of this MAONOCASTER E2.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the features of yours.
Okay, so starting off with the back panel, shall we? So yeah, so let's start off with this one. So yeah, so you got two 3.5 millimeter earphone outputs. You got two 3.5 millimeter mic inputs, and then one 3.5 millimeter headset output right here. And then you got your two micro USB live outs over here. And then your 1/4 inch guitar input,
Mm-hmm.
a micro USB out for your accompaniment, one micro USB out for your computer, and one micro USB out for charging.
That's a lot of micro USB cables.
I know,
That's, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why. But yeah, again, you need special cables for this device. So, how about you? What's your back
Okay,
panel?
let's look at the back panel of this
Yeah.
guy. Okay, so first of all, first thing you'll notice is this combo XLR and 1/4 jack. That's for mic 1. It also comes with a 1/4 instrument input. And then next to that is a mic gain switch, which I think is pretty nice. So you can choose between from 40, from 40 decibels of gain all the way up to 60 in increments of 10. So 40, 50, and 60 decibels of gain. It also has phantom power, which is pretty nice. Next to that is the second mic input. It is a 3.5 TRS cable. It's a 3.5 TRS input. Next to that is the aux in stereo 3.5. And then next to that is the monitor out. So if you have speakers for monitoring, you can plug that in there. Also stereo 3.5. And then comes two line outs to go to your mobile phone. Those are both TRRS outputs, 3.5 millimeter. And then a third audio out, which is now USB-C. So that's a nice touch. USB-C output for audio, and then next to that is USB-C power. So the power and the audio are separate in this unit. And then next to that, the LED brightness switch and your power switch. Simple as that. Yep.
Nice.
So compared to yours,
Yep.
it's all 3.5 millimeter jacks. So you don't need special cables. You can go to your hardware store and probably find the parts and build your own cables for this.
Yeah. Well, good for you. Good for you then. So let's talk about price point, shall we? So mine, actually, this costs here in the Philippines like around 1,100 pesos, roughly around, I guess, $20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how about yours?
This one is it's pretty expensive. This goes for about $100. I got this one for 4,990 pesos off of the official Maono sellers here in the Philippines.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See? Wow.
So hopefully the price difference, hopefully the performance really makes the price difference worth it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now let's get into the front panel, shall we? So now we got, okay, starting off, of course, you got your power button over here. You got your mic and music level indicators over here. You got your guitar volume and reverb knobs right on top. You got your output volume, or what should they call a record knob? I have no idea why, but yeah. So yeah, and you also got your mic reverb right here. And you see these buttons over here. This is kind of like an auto tune. Yeah, from, I don't know if it's clear right here. So it's from A to A flat. Yeah, all 12 keys. Interesting. Interesting. And then you got 10 sound effects over here. On the sides, you got your music volume. You got your mic volume. And you got 3 faders right here. So you got treble, your monitor, and your bass. And then here you got more effects, actually. So first you got your noise reduction. There's a mute button. There's a dodge button. There's a voice changer. And the rest are just vocal effects, actually. And you can actually power this via Bluetooth. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, let's take a look at the front panel of the Maonocaster. So let's start from the left. We've got the volume control for mic 1, followed by the volume control for mic 2. So that's a nice one. And then we've got switches for your phantom power and your Bluetooth. Yes, this has Bluetooth as well, but only for audio playback. Like if you're going to use accompanying music or background music, you could just connect the phone and play back your music through Bluetooth. Unfortunately, you can't really stream via Bluetooth. That would be nice.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
Unfortunately not, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's keep on going. We've got the aux level control over here. And then running down on the top, we've got the EQ for the mic, low, mid, and high. Then we have the instrument input volume. We have a voice changer knob, which goes from something like Barry Whitish all the way to like a chipmunk voice. And then you've got your monitor volume knob, which controls both your headphone volume and your monitor speakers. So that's a little bit of a bummer, You can only control your they share the controls, so that's a bit of a bummer. And then here is the output volume control, similar to your record knob.
Yep.
And then down here on the lower level, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 programmable sound effect buttons. So these are totally blank coming out of the box. And you can program sound effects into it, so you can really personalize your live streams.
Right.
And then this button over here is a loop button for these 3 sound effects over here. So if you kind of have like a bed music in the background, you can keep it on a loop so it's constantly going while you're doing your shows. And then moving on over to the right, we have some more soft buttons and some more knobs. This is a reverb button, a side chain button, which is similar to your dodge button over there on yours. We have a music only, which is kind of like a voice canceling feature for your background music. We also have a dry wet button, wherein the unit turns off all effects on your mic, so that when you're streaming, you can be singing with your reverbs on, and then when you're going to talk, you just press that button and it turns off all of the effects. And you also have a loop back button if you're streaming into your phone and also using that same phone for background music. You can do that. Just turn that on to turn on the loop back button, and you can play some music. And we also have a noise canceling button. We're almost done. There's a lot of features on this guy. There's a noise canceling button, which works pretty well, actually. And one thing that I like about this unit, it's got 3 controls for the reverbs. So you have a pad volume, a depth control, and decay time. So the depth pretty much determines the size of your room. The decay time, pretty much the tail end of your reverb. And the pad volume is pretty much the mix of the reverb into your voice. So, yeah, it's a lot, isn't it? Yeah. And then moving over to the bottom of the unit, yeah, yours doesn't have anything on the bottom, but
None.
on the bottom, there are 2 headphone jacks, headphone outputs, so you can plug in two headphones if you have two speakers. Unfortunately, it is all controlled by this monitor knob over here. So one knob to control monitor speakers and both headphones.
Wow.
Phew,
That's a mouthful.
that was a lot.
That was a lot. So, anyway.
Oh, I forgot.
yeah.
Sorry, I forgot. There are these little, really unassuming little indicators over here. It also has an auto tune feature.
Oh,
So
cool.
but you can barely see it because there's no special button for it. It's a soft button over here.
Oh, okay.
It's like a touch button kind of thing.
Right.
So it's a soft touch button, and you can cycle all through 12 keys for auto tune.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's move forward. Yeah, the pros of the V10. So first of all, it's rechargeable, right? You can stream on the go, very portable. But again, I do not suggest you stream in the car. Okay, guys? Do not. Yeah. That is not allowed. Okay, so, and of course, it has an instrument input or a guitar input. Unlike the V8, you can't really, attach a guitar or whatever yet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
And also, you can stream with two phones.
Nice.
Unlike the V8, you
Nice.
can only use one mobile phone, and it also has two mic inputs. Yeah. Again, you can. It has the Bluetooth feature, so instead of plugging it with a micro USB to TRRS cable, right, to your phone, at least you can use that feature. Also, it has separate inputs for data and charging, and I think that's a pro because instead of I don't know. How about you?
To me, that's a con actually, because
To you, it's
that
a
means
con.
that means you need to have an extra USB-C cable.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, is yours USB-C? This one is
Mine's micro
micro.
USB.
Sorry, yeah. So you'll need an extra cable for that.
Yeah. So that's that. That's it for me. Yeah. How about you?
Okay, so the things I like about this MAONOCASTER E2, well, first of all, of course, the combo jack, XLR 1/4 combo jack. It's very, very handy as opposed to the previous versions of the MAONOCASTER. Of course, they came out with the AM100 and the AM200. The AM100 had two XLR inputs, not a combo jack, but two XLR inputs. The AM200 came with two 3.5 inputs, which I thought was kind of weird, So I had to come up with all of these adapters and cords and stuff like that just to get it to work with my setup. So I love that it has the XLR and 1/4 combo jack. I love that it finally has phantom power. I love the gain switch, so you can really, it's not exact, but you can get closer to a good input with the gain switch. Of course, it's an advantage. The other units didn't have an instrument input, so that's an advantage of this one as well. Yours can stream to two devices at the same time.
Yes.
This one can stream to three devices at the same time. I don't know who would do that, but okay. Yeah. Three devices at the same time via the two 3.5 TRRS outs and the USB-C out over here. Same as yours, separate USB port for charging. I really don't understand why they did that because the previous units, it was all the same. It was a combo. You could both charge and get audio from the USB-C out. Maybe it has something to do with the phantom power. Maybe it'll eat up too much power from your phone if you do that. But yeah, there's got to be some sort of explanation there. What else do I like about this? Well, if you actually get your hands on this device, it feels like a quality product. It feels really good in the hands. The buttons they seem like you can press the laugh button 1,000 times a minute and just keep on going, and people will love you for that.
Yep.
Even the Bluetooth and phantom power buttons, they're both soft buttons. it really feels like a quality device.
Right.
Another thing is the battery life. On a full charge, this can go on about maybe 4 hours of live streaming. Oh, I like that it came with different reverb presets. Yeah, so you can cycle through like a church reverb, hall reverb.
Nice.
What's that? Oh, God, there's one that I find kind of odd. It says Valley. I don't know what that is. If you're maybe a mountain goat, you'll know what that is. Another thing is you can really you can kind of tweak your reverb. So if you find a reverb that you like, say you like the cathedral reverb, you can actually control the mix. Of course, a lot of units can do that. You control the mix,
Right.
But now you can also control the decay time and the size of the room, so that so you can really fine tune your sound. The noise canceling. I have these expensive mixers, and I cannot copy the noise canceling of this unit. I'm baffled by it.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Really?
cannot dial it in. Yeah, it's really really good. It's very very efficient. It's
Okay.
not what you call it. It's not distracting.
All right.
So it feels very natural when you're talking. So yeah, I like it. I like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Still a lot of features, right?
A lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Okay. Wow. So like you mentioned also, I forgot. Yeah. Actually, this also has built-in phantom power. Okay,
does?
guys. Yeah, it does. It does as well. So yeah. And you talked about noise reduction. Yeah. Again, also it does have. But now we're going to the cons. So since I mentioned about noise reduction, it's not too great. You can still hear a little bit of noise with that one. And you mentioned about the battery, right? So it can go for like 4 hours
Yeah.
on yours?
Yeah.
I kid you not. I think only close to an hour with this
Ooh.
one. Yeah, it really, really has a weak battery. I mean, you get what you pay for, right? For only $20. And again, right? No brainer. I mean, you can easily operate this. Now, seriously. So, also, sound quality is not that great. Yeah. Well, if you put a mic in here, it's just all right. But with the guitar, though, man, that distortion is just it's bad. It's really bad. You try and boost it just a little bit, like around the 12 o'clock point, like, yeah, just right there. Crackles, like, ugh. Nah, it's not. It's really not that great. And also the guitar reverb, I gotta mention this one. So, actually, you just kind of like, just right there in that spot. I don't know. It's like playing in a cave or something.
Oh.
Yeah. So you don't have full control with the reverb. I don't know why they did this, but okay. Right? So also some of the vocal effects, there's this one like an MC or popular. I don't know what these buttons are, but it just sounds the same.
Oh.
Yeah. It just sounds the same as if there's no effect at all.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't yeah. And also, you need special cables for this device. So again, a micro USB to a TRRS 3.5 millimeter. So yeah, you kind of have to go online and buy it there.
Yeah.
I don't think you can go to any, I don't know, hardware or audio store or nothing. You can't buy those cables.
So it's kind of like proprietary, kind of like going in Apple's direction kind of thing, huh?
Exactly, right? And same thing with the mic input. It's a 3.5 millimeter input. And so, I don't know. XLR, it's a 3.5 millimeter. So you're kind of like, okay, you need a special cable for that. So it's either you do it yourself or, you have somebody else make one for you. So, yeah, so that's it for me.
Those are your cons?
Those are my
That
cons.
doesn't seem like a very long list. So
Yeah.
that's all right, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, going to this one. I mean, for $100, you know, you'd think that, you know, they've already got things down,
Exactly.
especially when you're competing against things that are like $20.
Right.
So, but there are a few things that I don't like about this unit.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, so you see these EQ knobs over here. So low, mid, high, it's for the microphone. It affects both microphones. So if you're two speakers, one has a nasally voice and the other has a shrilly voice,
Right.
it's hard to really dial in a good sound if you guys talk differently. So yeah, that's one con there. It's a shared EQ. Another thing is these mic volume sliders over here. There's no indicator for the level. I mean, when you're talking into the mic, there is a level indicator over here, which shows you how much audio you're getting from the mic. But when you move your slider up and down, it doesn't really affect, you don't really visually see how much audio you're feeding into the output, into your output. So that's a bit of a bummer. Not a deal breaker, but would have been a little helpful. And what's another thing? Your unit has instrument reverb, right?
Yep, it does.
This one doesn't. No instrument reverb at all. So you'll be playing, say, an acoustic guitar or any instrument, totally dry, while your vocals are magically rich in reverb. So that's gonna sound kind of weird.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I don't like. Another thing is, of course, I mentioned it a while ago that this one knob over here, this monitor knob over here, controls both the headphones and your monitor speakers. So you know, if you're interviewing somebody with another pair of headphones plugged in and they need their headphones jacked up because they're kind of hard of hearing, you're gonna go deaf. Your ears are gonna hurt after a while.
Yeah.
And the monitor speakers, I guess that's all right because monitor speakers usually have their own volume control. So that's not a big deal. But if there are two of you using the unit, it might become some sort of a tug of war between volume levels.
Right.
Right? Okay, another thing is this dry wet button over here. It's a nice touch actually because after you sing, you can just press that and all of your reverb is gone and you can just continue with your live stream or your podcast without any reverbs. Unlike other units where you just have to turn down the knob or the slider to turn off your reverb, and then when you're going to sing again, you have to find that level again, right? So that's a nice touch. But what this button also does is it turns everything off. It turns off your background music. It turns off the instrument. It turns off, say, your pitch, your voice changer, your auto tune. It also the reverb. It turns off everything except for your microphones.
Right.
And another thing that I don't like about it is you don't hear it in your monitors or in your headphones. You'll only hear that it turns off in the broadcast. So there was a time where we were live streaming and I started singing and they were like, "Hey, your music's off."
Yeah.
You know, so you can't really tell unless you're really looking at the unit and the button is flashing at you.
Right.
Okay, the instrument input. So there's this 1/4 instrument jack. It is way too hot. Way too hot. I plug in an acoustic guitar. Of course, you got an active piezo. I don't know how you guys pronounce it, but I pronounce it piezo. It's got an active piezo pickup.
Right.
I have to turn down my volume to just above 0.
Oh.
Like just enough that audio is coming out of the pickup. And that's the only time I'll get a clean signal into this thing.
Wow.
So it's super, super hot. Anything above that, I get a lot of distortion, a lot of popping and cracking.
Yeah, exactly.
And as I mentioned a little while ago, no instrument effects, no reverbs. It would have been nice if the volume of the reverb just affected both of them. Right? Even if you can't really dial it in or fine tune it, it would have been nice if it could affect both of them. And to you, it's an advantage. To me, I think it's a disadvantage.
Yeah.
The charging port is separate from the other USB audio port. Yeah, there's got to be an explanation there. It could be a power a power draw thing with the phones. But yeah, I think that's a bit of a bit of a con for me because you have to bring extra cables.
Okay, I see. Yeah, so you also mentioned about the shared volume. Yes, same thing here. It shares the same volume. So if you're using two microphones, then sorry to say, you just got one volume
Shared
control.
volume,
Yeah,
right.
it's a shared volume. And same thing with a monitor. Yeah, you can't control that, so it's just everything's shared. Yeah, so I forgot to mention that.
Oh
It's
yeah,
another con.
another thing that I forgot to mention. Do you see these programmable soft buttons over here? So they're fully programmable. There are some steps in the manual to record your audio loops or samples or whatever. But it's a little finicky. You have to time yourself. You know, you press it for 3 seconds, I think, and that enables the recording. And then once you're done, you have to press it again to save. You know, so you know if you're not very good with timing yourself or with audio levels or anything like that,
Right.
it could be a little a little cumbersome to do. It would have been nice if there was like an app for your computer where you can plug it in via USB because it's got a USB port. You can plug it in via USB and load it onto the buttons and assign it to those buttons. That would have been awesome. You know, and if that were there, then I'd be super happy to pay $100 for this one. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Phew. That's a lot.
I know. Yeah.
If you guys want to find out how these guys sound, you can tune into our live streams. We have
Right.
different platforms. Where
Yeah.
do you live stream, X?
I live stream on 17 Live and on Kumu at xtinemercado. That's my username right there.
Magical graphic.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And I too live stream on 17 Live and on Kumu.
Yes.
At norbydavid. Yeah. So you can check it out. And these are the things that we use constantly on all of our live streams. So you can
Yes.
give it a listen and see for yourselves which ones
Right.
you guys like better.
Exactly. Yeah. So check that out.
Yeah.
So, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and click on that notification bell to get you guys updated on our future uploads.
Yeah. So we will see you guys very soon in our next video. So
Right.
I'm Norby.
I'm xtine.
And this has been Norby and xtine's Tech Talk.
Yeah. See you guys next time. Bye-bye now.
And today, I too live stream on. I too. Sorry. Growing pains.
Click on the notification bell to get you guys updated on our future uploads.
So till next time, stay classy, San Diego.